I was thinking of 2 videos to make, but I decided to start on oneness because, the whole point of this ascension is for you to come to the knowing of that everything is one and to live in that experience. And welcome back. So one of the things that have really helped me in my journey to understand oneness, first of all to understand it and now to know it, because as I have said, I have benefited a lot from the teachings of Jesus in the Bible, and when I see or I read that in the beginning was the Word, and that Word was became flesh, and that Word is Christ. So I get to know that everything is created through that energy of Christ. So everything is one. So everything is that energy. And that everything includes your very, very own twin flame. Not only your twin flame, but also other things that are created, physical and non-physical, trees, other people, animals, even man-made things, even like chairs and like cars, because they all exist from what was already created. There is no other raw material that have been taken from anywhere else. The only raw material that was and is the Word, and that Word which has also become flesh, that Word is that energy of Christ. So it is from that everything is one. So you meditating and feeling that energy of oneness with everything, oneness with air, oneness, you will feel that you yourself, you are that energy. And that's why some of the teachers, they were very, very, their teachings were not very, very welcomed in the religious circles when they say that they were Christ, or when they say that they are gods. They were not received, but that is the truth. You are that energy. You are that Christ energy. That energy has reincarnated in you. So it is you remembering that. It is you staying, meditating and feeling that you are Christ. You are that energy. You are that God essence. That energy lives in you, and it wants not to experience the world through you. That is how you feel that oneness. That is how you experience that oneness. And that oneness, it is not only you and your twin flame. It is you and other things. But mostly you have to remember that oneness, your twin flame, they are not separate. So you are like collapsing that duality. Your twin flame is not an exception. They are one. They are in that energy. So it is you collapsing that duality that you will experience that oneness. You have to stay in meditation, like in silence, and feel that from inside of you, because it is not outside. You have to feel like your inner body. You have to feel yourself. You have to feel your heart center. The more you are doing that, the more you are aligning more and more with that energy. Because there is an energy of mind and there is an energy of now soul. Now, the energy of mind is this intellectual and reasoning. You will start seeing that you are not the intellectual. Intellectual is just a part of you. You are the being itself. You are it. You are that energy that have created everything. You are it. It is like, the way I think about it, you are like this. It is like the sun, and it has rays, the sun rays. We are just the rays, but everything is the sun. There is the big that is expressing itself as the rays. You are just part of that. And Source has chosen to express itself or himself or herself or whatever you want to say in the way you are. Like you are an expression of Source. Like I remember one time, I think I've mentioned it in one place. I was like taking care of a client of mine or a patient, and I was cleaning them. And at that time I realized that experience is like 3 years ago, or around 3 years ago. And I was taking care of that patient and bathing them and cleaning them. And at that time, I felt that God was like enjoying cleaning another human being. Like I was surprised. I did not know that God loves to clean sick people. I did not know that. Like he enjoys it. I could feel that energy in my hands and my eyes, like the enjoyment and the love and the care, it is like when an alien comes into a planet and everything is noisy and they are just curious. That is the energy I was feeling, like this curious energy of doing it, not judging, just enjoying. And by that time, I was not really into the teachings of oneness, but I was doing the meditations. I have come now to understand what people teach, what they teach by experiencing. Like I have experienced these things. Now when I hear the teachings, I know what they are talking. Now I could say, oh, so when I'm going through this and thinking about this is what they say this. No, I can know that is oneness. It is only I did not have a name because I was not into the spiritual, teachings. I did not even know their spiritual teachings. I didn't know that there were spiritual teachings. For me, I was just following my path. But now I think my soul had to go now through the terms and the whole story of the spirituality, spiritual circles, because now I understand people better. Because now when somebody tells me the teachings of oneness, I understand it from a place of where they are coming from. But I have also experienced it, or I experience it in my own way. It is only that I did not have those words. So I was really questioning. So I started like doubting myself. And the doubt, it is what really can make you slow down in your spiritual journey or get stuck. Because the energy of Source is not doubt. It cannot doubt. How can God doubt himself? Like how? So it is not coming out of doubt. It is the big thing here. So learning to trust yourself will really help you a lot. To trust your experiences, even if you don't understand, even if you don't have words, just trust what you are going through, what you are experiencing, what you are feeling, because words just came. Words are just 3D things. Languages are just 3D things. So you don't really need words. If somebody is deaf, they don't need words. Because they cannot hear. If somebody is blind, they cannot probably read, or for those who did not go to school, probably they cannot read. They cannot depend on that. God is very, very fair and just. That is just the way I see God, as a just God. Because if words are the way that God or source expect us, or intellect, to understand things, how can that be fair? And there are those people who don't have those opportunities. So words are not the only thing that you are looking for. Those are just by the way. So you depend more on your experiences, because God is so easy that even babies can understand him or her. Let me use him because it is easier, that even babies can understand God. Babies are just looking, They're just looking, they're just watching, they're not judging. Imagine a newborn baby, a 2 weeks baby. That's the way. No, that is the energy of, you want to come into that. That is what you are aiming for, that energy of not judging, just experiencing. A baby will just look around. They are not judging. This is a wall. This is a face. They are not judging. They're just looking. They are not judging. This is ugly. This is beautiful. They are just experiencing. They are just experiencing, and now that is what we want to come to, that soul energy which is pure. And that is when you are meditating, and the reason of meditating, it is watching your thoughts. It is not stopping to think. It is you knowing that you are not your thoughts. If you are in silence, don't even try to aim for anything. Just be silent. At one point you'll realize there is a thought crossing your mind. Now that you have realized that a thought is coming in your mind, now you have become the observer. It might not be 10 minutes. It may be like you went for 30 minutes, but the only thought you caught is one thought. It is okay. It is not like you are it is not like you are competing. But the more you do it, the more you become like the soul leads you more and more and more and deeper and deeper. So just to recap, I am talking about oneness, and I am saying that you can really get into the energy of oneness by remembering that you are the energy that have created everything in the universe. I am you, you are me. So I am not judging you. I am just experiencing you and seeing you as my own creation, and just amazing and wondering at your uniqueness without judging you, because you are also the energy that I am. And it is remembering that you are also, I have used religious terms because that is what I align to, that you are Christ. You are that energy that became word, that is word, and that became flesh, and has now is in men. It is in men now. Because at one point we are told that Christ have died and he rose, and I don't live, I no longer live, but he lives in me. So he is the one living. You have to feel that energy. It is totally alive in you. But you have to create that silence, because you have to be still to know that I am God, I can go deeper like into those kind of scriptures, because you will know that you are God, you are Christ, you are that energy. And even if you have heard the teachings of Neville, those are some of his, I think some of his last teachings on, when he started saying that he is Christ, and people could not, especially the religious people, I think they were totally mad with him. Or even, those kind of people, even somebody who is called Wallace Wattles. I talk about him also a lot. Or I study him. And I have also talked about that. And he was even before Neville, because people, they will talk about Neville as if he was the start of those teachings. Even Wallace was before him, and he was teaching those teachings. So the teachings of oneness, they have been there not only in the real Christianity, and also in Hinduism and other spirituality. It have been taught, and it is there. So we know everything just came from one, and we are that, physical and non-physical. Even when you are dying, you are just changing your state from physical to non-physical, you know. So even the air that you are not seeing, it is part of physical to me, because it is in the physical realm. So it is sitting down and feeling you are one with that air, you are one with that breath, you are one with everything, with your chair, with your neighbors. You are one with me, because we are one. Even you can feel my energy. We are one. I am you, you are me. Your twin flame is you. He is not, or she is not. Don't put them in a pedestal. I don't want to say don't, but you can put them if you put yourself. But don't put them at your own expense. Just put them on a pedestal because you have put yourself. Because the moment you start seeing yourself, how high you are, of course they are. You will see them at that high, because how can they not be that high? Because they are that energy. But looking them high and you low, it is that concept of self that is misaligned, because they cannot be higher than you. How can they be higher than you? It is the same energy. Are you saying that God created another one better than you? You can already see there is something wrong with that kind of thinking mindset. Anyway, I don't want to go onto that side, but okay, I was talking on oneness, and just meditate, breathe, go out in nature. When you start having those feelings about and thoughts about your twin flame, you know, you can feel them coming, those thoughts. Don't sit there and wait for them to like bombard your mind. Remember that you are him, you are her. Feel them inside of you. Feel your chair, feel anything. Touch something, you know, smell something, so that you know that you are it. Remember it is, you are not remembering. Remind yourself. Promise that you remind yourself who you are, because you are more than what you think. And okay, so take care, and we'll see you in the next videos.